Hello, my name is Nick White and I'm the Airgun Adventurer. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this in our first YouTube video because, as some people know but not very many do yet, I am on my way to Africa here to harvest Cape buffalo with an air rifle. It is going to be the first hunt of this nature ever done, and therefore we've had a lot of preparation, 3 years of planning, research development, and along the way we've developed a brand new type of rifle. Now, I know some of you are going to go into the fact that somebody claims they've already harvested a Cape buffalo with an air rifle, when in fact they used an air bolt put in a Sam Yang Dragon Claw rifle, which technically is a crossbow. They also harvested that animal from a blind and off a bait pile. We're not going to be doing any of that. We're going to be spot and stock, free range hunting. Now, there are quite a few guns out there on the market that have the ability to harvest Cape buffalo, in theory. What sets my gun apart, which is the debut of the .458 Rhino. There's a lot of 45 and 50 caliber air guns. Mine is the first air gun in the world that is designed to shoot copper jacketed and monolithic bullets. That's right, copper jackets, not pellets, bullets. In the testing procedures with my gun, we broke 1,300 feet per second with 300 grain solids. On this hunt, I have a specially supplied 350 grain solid from Accura bullets that we'll be using. And the bullet has performed admirably well in other applications, and so far it has gone through every test we've given it with just absolute beauty. We'll talk more about the gun here in a minute. Excuse me. But right now I want to talk about packing. As you can see by the mountains of gear around me, that this is not your typical safari. When you pack for a typical safari, usually this is all you're going to need. Good luggage suitcase, setup for your clothing, and a good carry-on bag. On this one here, we've also added a drone, a Nagini rifle case, which I'll be doing a video on, reviewing it after we get to Africa. We've added my air tanks case and a camera case. Now, some of the things to keep in mind when traveling with air rifles, especially when traveling internationally, is when you're in the U.S., even though the FAA and TSA have decided that you don't need to declare your air rifle as a firearm, for everybody's safety and convenience, including your own, I urge you, please declare it as a firearm. We have treated this gun like a firearm in every country that we're going to visit. We are going to have firearms permits on the ground waiting for us in South Africa, where we're headed, just as though this was a modern firearm and not an air rifle. Brings up an interesting term, modern. Some people think that big bore air guns are a modern invention, when in fact, with the exception of a few custom tweaks, which I'll get into eventually, and the fact that it's made out of a lot of titanium and high-grade steels and modern composites, my gun functions identical to the air rifle that Lewis and Clark took on their discovery journey across the continent and to the Northwest. So we'll get into that in just a little bit here. Right now we're going to talk about carry-on bags. I happen to be a fan of these nice hard cases that are brightly colored. I like the bright colors because they're easier to spot. You'll notice that even my Nagini rifle case, which was supplied to me by Nagini gun cases to review, has been decorated, shall we say, with orange duct tape by me. It makes it a lot easier for me to spot my luggage as it comes off the conveyor belts and to find it. You will find that the carry-on bags, you have to have all your medications, your documentations, passports, charger cables, small knickknacks and incidentals. We're going to talk briefly about documentation. I carry not only a passport, but I carry my driver's license, I carry a wallet passport card, and a couple of credit cards with me. You do not need that much documentation to travel. However, if you ever, heaven forbid, lose your passport internationally, the wallet passport can help the consulate procure you an emergency passport. You must follow all FAA regulations when traveling With me right now, that means that I have air tanks, so I've pulled all the valves out of them. And when I get to Africa, I will go over exactly what gear is required for an airgun safari. The batteries have to be packed in your carry-on luggage. So most people don't know that when you travel, you're allowed a personals bag or a purse. For me, I use a camera bag as a personal bag. So in this instance, whoops, if I take the locks off it, that includes 3 cameras, all the backup batteries and chargers for them. And in this case, I have pulled all the lithium-ion batteries out of my drone case, and they're stored right here. As you can see, each battery is separated out, can't touch anything, the battery terminals are sealed off. They can fire them up and find out their charge levels. All the camera batteries are separated out. And then this really nice, hard, waterproof-sided container, it makes it really handy to move and maneuver with them. So, I hope that this is just enough of a teaser that you'll start following me on Facebook and that. Like I said, when I get to Africa, I will go over exactly all the gear you need to take. Most people, when they go on safari, they overpack. In this case, I know I've overpacked, but everything you see over here on this side is my specialty tools and tooling, all my extra parts, my gaskets, my O-rings, my gun parts. You'll find booster pumps in there. You will find my tanks in there, all my regulators, hoses, shooting pads, ammunition, and so on. So I hope this video is just enough of a teaser there to get you ready to start following me here, because we're going to have some adventure here real quickly. We're going to go after some big game. We're going to start right off, and I am going to go after Cape buffalo, which is considered by many to be the most dangerous animal in the world to hunt, bar none. I have hunted Cape buffalo before with both firearm and muzzleloader, and I've got to tell you, there's just nothing else on earth that can compare with it. I've decided to up the ante a little bit on this one with the air gun, and I'll give you some backstory on that in future videos. So thank you for watching, and please follow.